Many statements have suggested that XRP may someday serve as the world's reserve currency. These statements come from both members of the XRP community and Ripple itself. In this video, I'd like to show you all the quotes from Ripple employees who have actually said this, as well as discuss the implications for XRP and whether this is even feasible. Does this imply that there would need to be a cap on the price of XRP? Does this imply that XRP will eventually surpass the dollar to become the primary reserve currency used globally? I want to discuss that in this video, since there is a lot of conjecture surrounding it in the XRP community, and I want to share my opinions with you. However, I also want to discuss some recent news that the XRP community has been following regarding Ripple's expansion towards the end of the video. Folks, the Ripple SEC lawsuit has prevented Ripple from conducting business in the US for a considerable amount of time. Please stay tuned for the entire video, as I want to show you some really encouraging signals regarding it at the end. I want to start this video by showcasing some of the statements made by high-ranking Ripple employees regarding XRP's potential to become a worldwide reserve currency. This is because, in my opinion, a lot of people hear this story and assume it is only the product of the XRP community and Moonboy investors. But I want to show you that some of the most influential Ripple employees were the ones who created it. But I want to share my opinions with you after we discuss what they said. So pay attention to this. Brad Garlinghouse began by stating that, in his opinion, the primary function of a digital asset such as XRP is to act as a bridge currency, allowing for unprecedented levels of efficiency and payment worldwide. According to Brad Garlinghouse's statement from 2018, the usefulness that digital assets provide will determine their long-term value. XRP is very useful since it provides a solution to an issue worth trillions of dollars. According to Chris Larson, XRP is the only digital asset with specific institutional use cases intended to address an issue worth trillions of dollars. According to Chris Larson, given the worldwide payment and liquidity issues that banks, payment processors, and corporations faced in 2018, we believe that XRP has a genuine possibility of becoming a digital reserve currency that is used by both consumers and financial institutions globally. As she also mentioned, XRP is in a unique position to address a problem worth several trillions of dollars, and we think it has the potential to become the norm for digital assets and payments worldwide. Thus, it is evident that Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, and numerous other Ripple employees have made a significant contribution to the story about how XRP is able to solve a multi-trillion-dollar issue and eventually turn into a neutral reserve asset for the whole financial system. Many people now interpret these remarks as an attempt to claim that the XRP will eventually replace the dollar. Fiat currencies will give way to XRP. People in certain areas will be required to use XRP as a new form of payment. And guys, that is just untrue. There is no way that XRP will ever take the place of the dollar in our world. There will never be a time in history when every single American goes to the shop and makes purchases using XRP. And none of these individuals in these quotes are expressing that at all. Furthermore, no one with a clear head believes that it will occur. There will never be a time in history when everyone makes payments with erratic currencies. It is illogical in the extreme. The typical person favors having everything tied to a single unit. The typical person desires $1. That's the truth of it. Most of my acquaintances struggle to understand even the most fundamental concepts related to payments. They would never want to, nor will they ever comprehend how to go to the store and make a purchase using volatile currency. To be completely honest, I doubt that I would want to either. XRP can still function as a digital reserve currency. Despite this, we are entering a future in which countries are breaking away from one another on a global scale. Because other countries have virtually financialized their currencies against one another, we are witnessing a decline in the desire for nations to use one another's money. The US froze all of Russia's money and assets. The United States is using the US dollar as a weapon, compelling nations to reassess their approaches to money. In the future, creating a CBDC and issuing a sovereign currency will be simpler than ever, and over the next 10 years, I believe that activity will skyrocket. The US dollar will no longer be the preferred currency for other countries as a result of this. Russia is paying Saudi Arabia with US dollars, which is illogical. They don't both possess US dollars. They don't both require US dollars. To be honest, they simply run the danger of having the United States interfere and cause chaos. There will be numerous significant currencies in the multipolar world we are heading toward. Furthermore, it is conceivable that each country will utilize its own currency instead of depending on another. no one will possess decentralized, neutral currencies in the future, and their importance will only grow. In the event that there is no US dollar and everyone is using their own money, then everyone simply decides to use that currency. Neutral currencies will be required to bridge all centralized currencies if that disappears. In this scenario, XRP is ideally positioned to rule and serve as the world's reserve currency. It will never serve as a nation's reserve currency on a worldwide scale, although it will never replace a nation's fiat currency. It will be among the greatest digital assets, since it provides neutral liquidity that is independent of ownership. Countries will search for neutral liquidity assets to bridge the systems as we progress toward a world where there is less mutual confidence and where countries are unable to use each other's currencies for fear of consequences. This is the point at which XRP resolves the multi-trillion-dollar issue. On a microscale, it is not declining and taking the place of the dollar. It isn't internally substituting for these many fiat currencies. It connects all of these disparate currencies. XRP will always remain a neutral source of liquidity that any government, institution, country, or small business may access without running the danger of a counterparty seizing their assets or taking over the system as we move toward a multipolar world of digital assets. That should help you understand how XRP can be positioned as a neutral global reserve currency without really declaring that the dollar will be replaced. It can serve as a global reserve asset without having to take the place of the dollar. The second fast topic I want to discuss is whether or not XRP requires a predetermined price to accomplish these goals. I made a video on it last night, and I think it's definitely not. Yes, not that it makes any sense at all. Considering that there are 10 billion XRP and we tie each one to a dollar, we would have a market capitalization of 100 billion XRP, or $100 billion worth of liquidity in the XRP ledger ecosystem. That, in my opinion, is the best way to understand why this doesn't make sense. What, though, is the main problem with that? XRP is deflationary, therefore, as a result, the ecosystem would continuously lose XRP. What happens to market capitalization when XRP declines? Let's imagine that in the future, we only have 50 billion XRP because the transaction fee burned the remaining 50 billion. Then, instead of having 100 billion, our liquidity would only be 50 billion. That's the reason. It makes zero sense to peg the currency to anything in the scenario where XRP becomes the decentralized global reserve currency. The most advantageous aspect of XRP is its unlimited price scaling, which increases network liquidity dramatically. When the network requires additional liquidity, XRP's price rises, and all of a sudden, XRP has exponentially more liquidity than it did previously. A price peg would severely harm the network and remove XRP's ability to scale its liquidity indefinitely. I thus released a short about it last night and simply hooked everyone with clicks. I mentioned that the IFL fixed XRP's price at 10. Gentlemen, stories such as this will never come to pass. I frequently watch them go viral. I wanted to make sure that was clear to all of you. To wrap up this video, I want to talk about something that I think is really amazing and unexpected to be happening so soon, and that is XRP is genuinely returning to the US market. It is well known that the XRP SEC case effectively delivered a message to major US financial institutions. No matter how interested you are in digital payments and currencies, or how you feel about where you think the industry is going, you can't touch XRP. And because they could practically only acquire clients outside of the EU, it made no sense for them to expand into the US. This was something that had a huge negative impact on XRP's business in the short run. However, from what we can see, and this is based on an item from the financial feed, which is a highly trustworthy, established source, Ripple is currently trying to explore a wide range of new partnerships in the This is really significant because it indicates that Ripple is finally expanding in the United States, which is the global center of finance. Since the US is the hub of all markets, it is the most crucial location for Ripple to grow. I get the impression that Ripple is beginning to realize that institutions are no longer confident in the SEC's case against them. All of the many companies that were interested in collaborating with Ripple were compelled to simply consider the SEC's side of the matter cautiously when the SEC initially started legal action against the company. If the SEC was correct and Ripple was engaging in all of these illicit activities, they didn't want to take any chances by integrating Ripple as a vital component of their payment stack. However, as a result of Ripple's employment and growth in the US, institutions are beginning to acknowledge what the XRP community has known from the beginning. The SEC has shown itself to be one of the most responsible businesses in the Bitcoin space, even if they had no case against Ripple to begin with. Guys, I hope this has given you a better understanding of where we are heading, what we are about to experience, and how well positioned XRP and Ripple are for our upcoming financial system. In any case, I want to thank all of you for coming. With any luck, you liked this video, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you did. It will be of great assistance to me